And is there a point that we are mad? And like, I love Bruno. Like, I'm not here to give the black card, the white card, and all that. But are we mad at non-black artists getting R&B and hip hop awards at this point? Well, what's good? What's good? What is goody? It's the Unfiltered Gems podcast. Ryan Hale, how are you today, brother?
Yo. Good, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Hi, my name is Malcolm Alexander. Look, we doing the names. We getting it right. Okay, we 25 episodes in, so now like the flow.
Right.
The flow is unprecedented. The flow is
We smooth with it now. We smooth with it
We
now.
like Nas on the Grammy stage. You know what I'm saying? Getting reparations for all the Grammys he did not win.
One mic.
One sound. Us together. God bless. What is good, y'all? Let me tell you, it's been a wild week. You know, in the wake of Slapgate, pop culture stories had to permeate through the red table, if you will, if that's the metaphor I'm going to say it. Other pop culture stories had to permeate through the red table. Did you watch the Grammys last night?
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
What'd you think?
I didn't see another slap, so I was a little bit underwhelmed.
Exactly. Boring. It was boring. Nothing about the Grammys was exciting. Not a damn thing was exciting. I will say that. But, of course, we will talk a little bit about it. Maybe some of our upsets and all that coming up. And I do want to say, at Unfiltered Gems podcast everywhere, the socials, subscribe on YouTube. Thanks for watching us. Y'all have been driving the numbers up on YouTube, by the way. For those that are listening
Appreciate that.
on the podcast platforms, do more. I'm seeing my YouTube numbers looking lovely by listeners. So shout out to you listening in your car, listening on your work day, listening with your family, with your friends, man. We appreciate it. Thank you. Truly to everybody. Hell, I got to share with you, dude. I was out skating last week, skating on the lighthouse. Saw a friend of mine who I haven't seen in a while. You know, because you see during the pandemic, you saw people and then you wouldn't see people. And,
right. Very sparingly.
Yeah, exactly. Homie Sean goes, dude, that Gems podcast you have, that stuff is great. My mom messages me talking about, dude, I ran back the Al Roker episode. I was like, you ran back the old episodes? She's dying. Shout out to Mama Jameson. She pulls me aside yesterday. I just went to go see the family. She's like, dude, I really like the podcast. Like, so I will tell you, man, as a creative artist, it's very easy to get a little hard on yourself. You know,
for sure.
To be a little unkind to yourself during the journey. I will say that. And if I could share like a very slight moment of sincere vulnerability, this is no bullshit. And it's really on my heart because I experienced it this weekend. But I had felt very overwhelmed last week. And this overwhelming feeling that I've had lately, it has not been from like not doing enough, but it's because I'm in a transitional phase and I'm just doing the most right now. For some that know, it's like I'm got an entertainment company and I'm building it in a different way right now. Capacity, y'all know, Cats at the Back. It's back on the 14th. Whoop, we hype. But then there's that. And then there's like just the work life. And there's all these things. And I shout out to Jordan. It was his birthday on Friday. So I went to his birthday party and pulled up on Victoria right after. And we were talking about things. And then she just said something to the effect of like, yo, you just being here is enough. And it was in the middle of me just like erratically like spewing off my to-do list and all these things that I had to do. And I was, heart rate was racing, everything. She just like held my arm and she said, you just being here is enough. Hell, I lost it. Haven't cried like that in a long time. And I didn't know that's what I needed to hear. I had been writing all week. I was like, what's going on? I'm just tired. I'm waking up. I don't know if you, like, I'm a morning person, but even if I go to sleep early, I would get enough sleep, I get enough REM, and I still was like, why am I so tired? Why am I just like, right? Because even when you're thinking, they'll always say too, thinking will get you tired. You're working, right? Some of us will get obsessed over our art, our creativity, our lane, whatever it is, whatever your shtick is. I don't care if you're an actuary. I don't care if you're a secretary. If the stress is following you home and you're thinking about it in your sleep, you are tiring yourself. Very true. I was just tired last week, dude. And and Victoria looked at me and said, you just being here is enough. I didn't know I need to hear it, but I felt it and I lost it. And so I'm in an incredible place of vulnerability for the people around me and the people that have literally been supporting, large, small. Quite frankly, I am not the one measuring large or small as far as your contributions and your support of my creative journey here, Ryan's creative journey here, the Gem's creative journey here. And I just sincerely want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Hail, thank you to you for pulling up.
Thank you, sir.
Being my crazy ass every single week. To the people listening on audio. Okay, I will say your support is a little small. Go to YouTube. For YouTube, y'all, man, y'all just killing it. I appreciate y'all so much. No, really for everybody, man, because like lately, everybody's been in the flux. Every artist, every young person, old person, even. It's wild that I have, people from the the next generation up, the next 2 generations up, right? I'm talking about content with them. It's not a young thing that everyone is working with trying to figure things out. So I acknowledge and I see and I recognize everybody on their journey. Keep going after it, keep getting it, keep it up, keep it stuck, because it's all going to work out. And if there's anything I can impart from Victoria to myself to you just being here is enough. I will say that. You just being here, it's enough. Breathe, know that you are right where you need to be right now. And that is watching us on YouTube, not just merely listening to us. So, thank you. Hale, I want to start the podcast. Are you ready to go?
Let's get it.
The Unfiltered Gems podcast. What is good, world? My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And my name is Ryan Hale. What's going on?
Bro, we got to talk, man. We got to talk about music. Okay, music, the fundamental ingredient of the Unfiltered Gems podcast. Quite frankly, it was a fundamental element of just our mere relationship, brother. Far before the podcast ever came here, we know how we feel, and y'all as listeners know how we feel, and viewers know how we feel about the music. Specifically, we're talking about music's biggest night. It's hard for there to be a bigger night in award shows post-Oscars, but the Grammys were, as of a point in recording, were last night. And, hell, I want to know your thoughts about the Grammys before I give my spoiler. Boring.
Yeah, literally. I was about to say that's my thoughts as well. It was really boring, underwhelming show.
Boring.
Really nothing to talk about. I mean, shout out to some of the people who won, a couple people who I didn't think would win or win as much. So shout out to those people. Shout out to a couple performers, and we'll touch on that here in a second. But overall, very underwhelming show. Yeah. And I think that's going to be most award shows that we see that have to not compete with the Oscars, but that have to come right after the Oscars just went on, especially since people are still talking about that. So that's going to be tough to necessarily compete with ratings wise. But overall, it was pretty boring. It was just a regular old award show.
Do you think it was boring
performance
because
here, performance there?
Of the Oscars? Is that why? Because like I feel like any other year.
I don't know if it was boring because of that. I can't lie. I usually don't watch the Grammys. I don't watch a lot of award shows, for being honest with you. They're just kind of to me now.
Yeah,
you know
they're not everybody's thing.
Unless it's one where I'm like, oh man, it's a bunch of dope performers that I really want to see. Mm-hmm. See if they do something different live. You know what I mean? Then I watch it for that. But most times I don't really watch it. I might catch a little bit of it here and there, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, it's the Grammys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, but I will say I always look forward to the performances, right? I'm always about the performances. I always want to see the acceptance speeches.
Yeah.
You know me, I like the Cliff Notes version of the Grammys. Like, I do not need to.
Right.
Maybe if I get invited one day and I get to like go to it, maybe it might be a little bit more exciting. Yeah. But even like watching the broadcast, I'm always like, okay, no, just who won. Who I like, the most endearing speeches. I like the performances. But even this year, there wasn't really any performances to like shout home about. Not saying that they were bad, but just
they weren't terrible, but they weren't like super memorable. You know what I mean?
Nothing. Like I mean, Silk Sonic opened it up. It was great, and y'all know I gave y'all my spoiler-free review of the show.
Exactly. Right.
And they did.
Now, I do think you're a little biased there because you just watched their show.
Yeah.
Like, for me, watching that performance, it was like, oh, my God, I have to go watch that show now. Like, it was like a confirmation.
If my spoiler-free review did not give you enough, I mean, I didn't know you needed more, hell.
When I say I was looking up tickets and flights last week for Vegas, trying to figure it out, trying to make it work in my schedule, trust me, I'm trying to figure it out. So I got.
I'm over here mad. I said the Grammys made you convinced, not me. Okay.
Right, not you being offended.
Yeah, no, me being offended. So it wasn't me. It was the actual performers that made you. Okay, all right, hell, I see what we're doing now this morning.
No, but the performance yesterday was definitely a confirmation because I mean, in my opinion, that was the best performance of the night. And I think it's hard having to perform after Silk Sonic. I said that a couple award shows ago that we talked about when they performed.
Those are.
I mean, they're just top tier performers.
Yeah,
and the way they added the little James Brown feel. That little break to it. I mean, they're just ridiculous.
And again, I don't want to spoil the show, but one of my favorite parts.
That's what I was going. Yeah, yep. I was going to ask you some questions, but I said,
"Well, there's no. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it because after you heard what they jammed in, and for those that are house heads like myself, that break that it then get up. That's an old house record, and so when you see the show live, what they do after. In 777 is towards the top of their set list. That's all I'm going to say. Like gotcha. I refuse to spoil this because y'all know I love music. Like I want y'all to go have this raw experience and y'all come back, and then we'll do an exclusive Silk Sonic spoiled show review that y'all can choose whether or not. Like we'll put that right there and y'all can choose whether or not you want to hit play on it. But yeah, what they did. Actually at the actual show, I'm like, oh yeah. I will say best hair of the night goes to Anderson .Paak. The bowl cut. It's money. For those that do not like Anderson .Paak's,
was not feeling the bowl cut at all.
Again, it's money. That's why. Okay, if you broke, just say it. I understand.
Far from it. It's not money. It's not money. It's bankruptcy. That's what it is. Not money. Bankruptcy.
Cut it right there. There you go. That's the clip. That's how I'm gonna leave it at Silk Sonic. The bowl cut on Andy sounds like bankruptcy. That's class 10. That's Donald Trump bankruptcy right there. That's Mar-a-Lago. I love it though. He's so cheeky, man. I said cheeky. You know what I'm saying? He's cheeky, man. He's so I just love him. And he's so endearing, man. Like just any kind of wins he gets. So let's get in real quick, man. We got to talk about the upsets, man. And actually this year, other years, I am much more adamant about like, oh my God, this person didn't win. But they did a really good job of awarding the winners that I personally think should have won. Man, I'm going to talk first. At least winner that I was really excited for. You already know my campaign for Tyler the Creator to win best rap record or best rap album. Y'all know how I feel. Of course, he won it. Wasn't even there, but great. I will say my campaign for Family Ties to win. It paid off. Baby Keem won in his hometown. I was, you have no idea how hype I was. And I knew it. I was like, he should win, but I thought for sure Cardi might have won. But I thought that was really, really, really beautiful that he was able to pull that one through.
Out of the people that he was competing against, though, that was fair.
That was so fair. King's Disease 2. Certified Lover Boy. We agreed. No. I'm not even using this as a Drake slander segment at the moment because, you know, I take any opportunity I can. Donda, you know how we feel about Donda. In off-season.
You know what? I thought Drake pulled his nomination.
I guess he didn't. So it's fake. Okay. It's fake.
Yeah.
But
Tyler deserved it.
But no, Tyler deserved it more than anything. If you guys haven't checked out on Prime, last Thursday he streamed his LA stop for the Call Me If You Get Lost tour. It was absolutely incredible. Tizo Touchdown opened up, Vince Staples, Kali Uchis, and then him. Whole thing's up on Amazon Prime right now, along with Dreamville Fest, for those that are J. Cole fans and fans of the Dreamville label. If y'all haven't, have you peeped that the album, by the way, the drama tape?
Have I?
Woo! I needed it.
Man, it's
Put
fire.
it in my veins. Put it in my veins.
Goodness gracious. Freedom of speech.
Oh, my God. It's a great song. But Kendrick King, they went for Family Ties against Cardi B Up. My Life, J. Cole, and 21 Savage and Murray, along with Thought Shit by Megan Thee Stallion. And yes, I would definitely say of those songs, I personally thought Up was going to win. But I wanted Family Ties to win, and it did. Best rap song, Bath Salts, DMX, Jay-Z, Best Friend, Sweetie, Doja Cat, Family Ties, Baby Keem, Jail, Kanye West, and Jay-Z, and then My Life, J. Cole, 21, and Murray. Jail, Kanye won. That was his second win for the night. He also won for Best Melodic Rap Performance for Hurricane. Right. Oddly enough, Hurricane and Jail are probably the only two songs that I actually do enjoy on Donda.
See? We both said that. We both said that. Let's not lie. We both said that until we went to the show. Kanye and Drake. And you remember what they walked into?
Hurricane, yeah. Oh no.
No. They walked into
praise God.
Praise the Lord. Praise God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that song kind of hits.
Oh no, I'm not gonna say it doesn't. Y'all know how I feel about Kanye on this platform. Okay, I'm gonna keep his name out
we're gonna leave it at that.
Mouth. I'm not gonna go there. But I
hey, don't get Chris Rock out your socks.
I'm about to Chris Rock myself out of my old socks just because I'm talking about Kanye. But no, I do. I actually do like Jail. I can't lie. And then when Kanye said he kind of made it with Prince in mind, I'm like, damn, I can hear that shit. And then like in the narrative of the song, I'm like, fuck, like Prince could have been on that. There was one of the first ties in R&B history last night for best R&B performance.
Yeah,
Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic, and Pick Up Your Feelings, Jasmine Sullivan. She also won for best R&B album. For Hotels, her acceptance speech was so beautiful because she said it was all about making young women, especially herself in her young 20s, feel seen for the decision she made in her relationship life. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I'm happy for Jasmine. Sorry to cut you off. I'm happy for Jasmine because I know she had been nominated for a bunch of Grammys in the past, and those were her first 2 wins. Well deserved. But I've got to say, a little selfishly.
Wow.
I am a little hurt that Leon didn't win. Man,
I wanted him to get
something. Of that album.
I wanted him to get something.
I love that album so much.
No, you know.
I'm not mad that Jasmine won.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not mad that Jasmine won. I wish there could have been a tie on that one as well. Yeah. But well deserved for Jasmine. Well deserved.
Could I get a take off? May not be a hot take, but it just might be a take.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what we're here for.
Okay. This might be echoing my grandmother a little bit, but she said it when I was in Vegas recently after the Silk Sonic show. And I said, I was like, oh, man, it was so good. It was so great. You know, I'm coming back to their house. I'm waking her up at all hours in the morning. Should not be waking your grandmother up at 3 a.m. But I'm like, hey, it was great. Let me tell you about this.
Poor nigga.
Oh, poor girl. She really had to put up with me, okay? But she comes out of her room and she goes, well, I'm glad the show was great. She said, Bruno's done enough copying of our culture to win at this point. And she said, God bless him. And she walked back in her room. And is there a point that we are mad? And like, I love Bruno. Like, I'm not here to give the black card, the white card, and all that. But are we mad at non-black artists getting R&B and hip hop awards at this point?
I don't think I am. I don't think I can go that far to say that. Especially when it comes to Bruno, and we've talked about this in the past about the Silk Sonic album. I think that I'll just say for this Silk Sonic album specifically, I think that what you said, and we talked about this off air about how the album was more about paying homage than actually original music.
Yeah,
is more true than not. And I think since that was about paying homage, I think it's more about paying homage to all of the black artists that came before him. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like it's more of necessarily copying or trying to like get over necessarily.
I don't think it's malicious.
Homage and,
I do.
Yeah.
But when it's now kind of a consistent thing, because 24 Karat Magic was the same thing. You were just paying homage.
And I love that song.
I'm saying the whole record. I'm saying, was an homage to New Jack.
As well.
Right. We're not saying whether we dislike the album. I think we're all in agreement. Right. You're talking to a DJ. You're talking to someone who does a lot of weddings. Trust me, even if I didn't like it, wouldn't matter. You know. But there comes a point at which there are black artists out here doing the work. So why is it that the biggest artists are still non-black artists doing black music? Even if you're paying homage, gee, thanks. But there's also black artists out here that are doing more than paying homage. And this is nothing against Bruno. It just has to be said.
Yeah. I mean, maybe so. I just don't know. I don't know what black artists are out there that are doing the work that is not getting the notoriety.
I can think of a few.
I don't
you know,
like such as.
Oh man, I can run it through. You want R&B? You want dance? Like give me a genre.
We're just talking about R&B, right?
R&B. Let's go with Levin Kali. Let us go. And I'm thinking like song and dance, men and women, people that can play, tracks. Of course, I was gonna say like, Andy out here killing it, and so it makes sense that him and Bruno would come together.
Yeah,
I think you got some really dope black vocalist on the rock tip actually that are incredible performers. So I think there's also young R&B acts that are just still undiscovered that I'll see on TikTok, I see on Instagram, and they just don't blow up. I got friends that are some of the most talented people that I know that can sing, dance, probably better than Bruno. Not saying that Bruno was untalented, because man can play every instrument. He's incredibly talented, right? But and it's also just time. Bruno's been here in the industry for decades. So everyone has to pay dues.
And that's why
I'm not.
That's why it's hard for me.
I'm not displacing Bruno. But there comes a point at which, like, we still don't see that many black artists achieve that level. And so it is disheartening for me when I see non-black artists rewarded for doing black shit when there are still so many other black people that can still be and want to be let in. You feel me?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's nothing against Bruno.
That's
it's
fair.
nothing against Bruno.
But I think that, no, it's not. It's not. And that's why I just think I think it can be construed as that. But I get what you're saying. Especially, it's not a personal attack against Bruno, but it is disheartening.
We love.
I think
Bruno.
I think it just goes back to more. I think it's just more of a systematic issue, if I'm being honest. Though, I mean, Bruno's team and like you said, Bruno's been around for decades. Bruno's team is probably 10 times bigger and 10 times more industry savvy than some of these younger artists that are out there, like 11 Cali and people like that.
Or just the fact that Bruno has
a
team and like other acts don't have a team.
Exactly.
So no,
exactly.
So sure, but and again, it's about him paying dues. But it is not fair, and it does come to a point where you say, "Wow, it's so much easier for people to package non-black artists into black spaces than it is." And I'm just saying this from my own experience, dude. I see it out here. You know how many clubs in the city that I live in refuse to let black DJs in, but you will let white, Hispanic, Asian DJs in
playing black music,
or telling us at venues we don't want hip hop, but you gonna let a white DJ go up here, spin nigga, crass. But it bothers me. Like I said, my issue isn't with those DJs. They know not what they do. Same with Bruno.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Same with Bruno,
that's what I'm
right?
saying. It's systemic more than it's just an individual thing. These people are just examples. Yeah. So I get that.
And that's what I'm saying. I wasn't here picking on
back
Bruno. I just it's one of those things that it gets you to think about it. So that's all my thing, man. We got to talk Fallout a little bit too of the Oscars. I know there has naturally been development, and y'all just love to continue to hear about Slapgate. Y'all love to hear about Willow and Jaden, because quite frankly, the only Smiths I acknowledge now are Willow and Jaden. So are there any other updates that you would like to acknowledge, Hale, in talking about the Oscars?
You are a fool. Yeah, man. I mean, a couple of the most recent updates, obviously, since this is still a big story. But Will obviously resigned from the Academy, but now some of his movies have been put on hold. Some movies that he has working, such as Bad Boys 4, and then a movie upcoming with Netflix as well. So both of those have been put on hold. Yeah, Bad Boys 4.
No, Bad Boys for Life. Wasn't that the fourth?
That was the... Now you got me thinking.
Anyway, continue. Don't let me derail this.
Well,
I'm just really thinking.
Bad Boys 4, Bad Boys 5.
Bad Boys 5.
The next Bad Boys movie.
The next installment of the Bad Boys franchise. Because I said...
Thank you. Has been put on hold. And then the Netflix... he has some movie coming out with Netflix that he was starring on. Both have been put on hold. And they put out a statement that they said they were trying to see how tarnished Will's career was.
You know what's so sad? No, hold on. Now, I will say to the Netflix one, the Netflix movie that he was doing before the Oscars had a director change. They've yet to find a director, and it was already on ice. So I need people. Okay. Here's my issue, right? Because all throughout the week, man, everyone's getting their takes off. Everyone's establishing their angle when it comes to this. I need y'all as writers and bloggers. I am merely a podcaster, and I'm not here. We're gems, and we want to say some spicy shit, but we're going to move on. For everybody else that's writing these articles and putting these opinions into the zeitgeist of what's happening, right? Let's not try to twist stories, y'all. Let's not try to spin these stories to start making some spicy to be, oh man, Will Smith, man, the ramifications are going to be greater and greater and greater. Dog, one of those movies, and hell, even Bad Boys was, you know how long they were looking for a fucking director for the third one, or Bad Boys for Life? They had that shit written for years. And it went from director to director to director to director to director. It had nothing to do with Will at the time. And even now, yes, I will say his reputation is tarnished for now. But Will, compared to half of Hollywood who are disbarred, I think that's what, when you put Will Smith next to a Roman Polanski, next to a Harvey Weinstein, next to a Bill Cosby, and say all four of these men are banned from the Oscars. You said this one raped.
One is not like the other.
One of these is not like the others. Not excusing what he did, but I'm just saying. This one raped a bunch of women. This one killed somebody and went on the run. This motherfucker is Bill Cosby. Will Smith slapped the dog shit out of Chris Rock. Now, I'm not saying whether or not, you know, what his consequences should be and should not be. I'll leave that to the Academy, right? Yeah. But in the, one of these does not belong type energy, it's a little weird. So I'm sorry, I know I kind of went off, but just the to the Netflix movie in particular, and I'm probably going to think about the Bad Boys movie too. It's not a Will Smith thing more than it's an industry thing, but I hate to see these.
I think it's just more of a headline.
Oh my God! But these headliners of, oh man, Will man never worked in this. It's fucking Will Smith.
Exactly.
Get off, get off my podcast. Y'all ain't on my podcast. Get off my mic. And I'm the one on it. It's Will Smith. He's gonna work again, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think people, and especially black people, I'm tired of white people having an opinion on it, because I love all the white people all this week that are like, well, what do you think about it? Man, well, this is different, y'all. For the non-black folk listening, it's different. How we as a black community are digesting this phenomena is completely different than how non-black people are, let alone the overarching white patriarchal system that it's happening within this vacuum with it. Right. The way we're digesting it as a community is completely different. So to black people, I think we have to ask ourselves not whether or not Will Smith is going to work again, because I'm sure he will, and I think we want that for our man. Well, no matter your team Will, team Chris, we don't want to see a black man not have a job, at least for an infraction like this. Black folk, you got to ask yourselves going forward, how do you want to hold black men accountable to protecting black women? How do you want to hold black men accountable to just being accountable? There's so much more that comes from this that black people, that we have a chance to work on. And I don't know.
How do we want to hold black men accountable for assault? I think that's another one we should throw in there as well. Because
take it there, hell. Take it there.
I just have a hard time with us talking about, because I'm all for it. Like, let's protect black women, but I just have a hard time hearing that, and we're not talking about this man attacking another man in front of the world. You know what I mean? Like, let's just pump our brakes a little bit when we say, oh, protect black women, protect black women, protect black women when it comes to this story. Like, I get it. Let's protect black women, and there are a million other stories that we can push that agenda harder than Will Smith assaulting Chris Rock live on Oscars. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I'm with you, right? But again, the mechanism of how we do it, sure, you and I are probably I'll see you right after this. Look here.
No,
I haven't pulled you aside at the award show.
I get you.
Remember what you said about my wife? And remember when
You're stupid.
But I didn't go up on stage. I looked at you and I said, hell, I'm going to see you after. I know we don't agree with how he did it. The fact of the matter.
No, not even that. I'm just saying, like, I've heard, for example, I heard Gayle King even speak on it slightly.
Oh, Gayle King, yes.
In the interview. Well, no, I'm not saying
Auntie Gayle.
Authority. But I'm just saying, just even being a black woman known in our community, she was even like, I don't feel like Chris Rock was doing that in a malicious way. You get what I'm saying? So I just think and you said this already, it's just very, very different. Like, this is a very complex situation.
Nuance, man.
It's not black and white. It's very nuanced.
It's incredibly nuanced. And it's like, and I've loved to hear, as much as I try to get away from all this week, right? I love hearing everybody that's like, well, no, but that's how you protect. Yeah, damn right. Yo, even some people, look, we go ahead and break it. I don't want to say their names on the record. But I'll tell you, people,
you want to put them
I ain't gonna put them out there like that, but they were like, oh no, I fully support Will. Fully support the slap. And I'm like, you? I said, but we pray together. Like, I just, I'm sorry. I said, you support Will? Like, I was like, but We up in the pulpit, dog. What you mean? I thought we supposed to turn the other cheek. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. This and I said,
oh man,
I said you. So it has people divided, and as much as as inundated with the story as we are, I have loved to see people who I did not expect say, "Well, that's how you stick beside your woman." In that, all I'm saying to the top of the question, black men, black women, ask yourselves, is this your king? Is this what protecting black women looks like? Is this what holding black men accountable it looks like? And I think we have an amazing example when it comes to a luminary in our community like Will Smith to say, hey, king, you snapped. And how many black celebrities have had their nigga moment? Every black celebrity is going to have it at one point. That we've been validated by the white patriarchal system for so long. Right. And almost to the question of what, and we might get into, maybe not. We'll get into Atlanta later, right? But the last episode, right, where it begs the question of what does a large amount of validation from a white community do for you as a black man? And is there a point where the validation from the white system is not enough? Because how many times as black folk do we get into a space and if 100 white people are saying, you killing a dog, and that's it. Then we sit there and we go, is it? If all of you love it, and not to say the black folk or other folk don't love it, but like, if only you love it, what does that mean? And then we take inventory of the place in our lives, the position of our lives as black men or as black women and where we are. And when I say we have to have that nigga moment, we have that snap, we have that, oh, fuck, I've been working for the validation of this white space for so long, and it's still not enough. Because I don't want just white people to fuck with me. I don't want just this white system to think I'm the well-spoken token or I'm the chosen one. I still got to be down. And not in a performance aspect, but at the end of the day, because all my niggas in the whole wide world on some salon shit. Like, I love all my niggas in the whole wide world, right? So it's like I care more about not just getting the validation from the white space, but from my folk as well. So Will Smith has had to have this manicured look for so long. He's had to put it on for so long.
I just don't buy that when it comes to Will Smith. Will Smith has been beloved in the black community ever since he stepped on screen for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
But he ain't never had...
We talked about Fresh Prince.
But look,
what do you mean?
He ain't never had his nigga moment.
And I don't think he needed to I don't think he needed to have one to be more loved in the black community.
No, it's not that. I'm not saying that he had it to be loved. I'm saying there comes a point where like you're tired of being the well-spoken token.
I know. I get that whole thing. It was a beautiful soliloquy.
Will,
I just don't think.
Gee, thanks. Gee, thank you. Needed the validation from you. Because that's a well said.
I just don't think it fits. I don't think it fits for Will because he was already beloved in the black community. Like unless to your point, it was more of just a personal thing where he was feeling like the white validation was bigger than the black validation,
and that's only one ingredient of it. That's only one ingredient, right? Of course, there's layers on just like that's why I'm but overarching, right? Because you think about it, Will Smith's snap, it's only big because it was on a national stage. But Beyonce, her nigga moment was Lemonade. She had this whole pop career taken up to Lemonade and gonna remind y'all, my Negro knows. Kanye gonna snap on Kanye's been snapping. When you talk about holding people accountable,
he's had a bunch.
It's just been a bunch of those moments. Right?
I don't know if that.
So I'm thinking of black artists, black people in our community who have like literally had their snaps, where it's pimped and it's prodded, and then sometimes you got to.
But Lemonade,
or what did
But Lemonade, I get you. Lemonade though,
and I'm not saying that it was a snap
of all of the examples. But I know, but of all of your examples, I think Lemonade was using the snap in the right way. Like she put it in her music. Yeah. And this is something that millions of women have felt the same way. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that millions of men have not felt what Will has felt when it comes to being emasculated, being felt like you are less than a man.
Is that how men are feeling?
I mean, maybe.
As I stir my coffee. Is that how the men are feeling? Feeling less of a man today?
But I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know.
There's layers to it, y'all. There's layers to it.
I think we're giving Will too much of a pass. But
God,
that's just my take.
You know when you get the little updates on your phone, there's like a missing Amber Alert. That's exactly what it was. Oh no, someone is missing. We shall pray for them. Quick moment. Oh, they're found. Okay, we got to take a quick break. I hope some of y'all are now looking here and who has had they nigga moment, right? God rest his soul, John Witherspoon, granddad from Boondocks.
Yeah, from the Boondocks.
He
Stink Meaner.
Stink Meaner, yes. He said, who did he tell and which show was it? And he told me, goes, remember, young man, don't forget your nigga coat. And I'm just telling you, a lot of artists, a lot of black artists, a lot of black people, when you get into white spaces, it's easy to forget your nigga coat sometimes. It's real easy. Sometimes you might take it and you forget to take it off, put it on, whatever it is. Translation for those that don't know what I'm saying. The authenticity, the blackness, just what's within you, right? You can be human first and then black. You can try me with all that kind of stuff, right? But don't forget it, because what happens when you don't forget it and you pick it up, put it down, you might get what you see at the Oscars and beyond and beyond. You get people that are questioning their authenticity, their existence in these spaces. Questioning like how they show up here, and then you snap and you black out, and next thing you know, you an SNL joke for a whole year. So God bless Willow and Jaden. That's what I'm saying. Unfiltered Gems, we're going to take a quick break. Come back, going to talk about the war in the Ukraine. More Unfiltered Gems when we get back. But look, you are cordially invited. I really need y'all. I need y'all here for the return of Capacity, a dance party. We're calling it Groove Theory. It goes down in Chinatown on April 14th. Your favorite black-ass disco party is back. So for all the disco, house, funk, and R&B vibes, come check out myself, Malcolm Alexander, and my brother XVR on April 14th at the return of Capacity, a dance party. We're calling it Groove Theory. More information at capacitydanceparty.com/Groove Theory.
Unfiltered Gems, the podcast. I'm Ryan Hale.
I'm Malcolm Alexander.
Yo. If you are watching us on YouTube, as you should be, make sure before you leave, you hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell up top for notifications as well. And also be sure to follow us on all the socials at Unfiltered Gems Podcast.
Please do.
As Malcolm teased before the break, want to dive into what's going on in Ukraine from a little different angle. We kind of touched on this a few weeks ago when it comes to black people in Ukraine. We saw some videos of black people not being able to get on buses and things of that nature, some racism that some of those black people out there were dealing with. But recently, this past week, the Peace Corps sent out a letter, if you will, to some volunteers. And in that letter was an expert talking about possible considerations for African-American or black volunteers. And a part of that said it is not uncommon for Ukrainians to refer to African-Americans as the N-word. Volunteers of color may be called a monkey or may see children's games with blackface. Being aware of the history or of dehumanization for people of African descent may help inform where this comes from. It does not justify it. It will be at your discretion to determine the intent. So after seeing that and hearing that, coupled with what we already saw in some videos percolating through social media.
It's a percolator. Time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator.
I know I did not use that right, but that's what we're going to go with.
You know that song, right? It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. You from the Midwest, dog. If you don't know the percolator, you know you have an auntie that's been at the family function. Hit that joint out there. Hit that percolator. He said we've seen these stories percolating through the social media. From now on, that is the way we use percolating on this podcast. I'm gonna apply it. Hold on, I'm adding it to the unfiltered. I'm adding it to the Gems journal, the Gems dictionary.
Oh, you are
percolating.
Stupid.
Oh yes, we putting that on through. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, we've seen these videos all over social though of black people not being able to get on buses or calling the N-word, and there's some racist stuff that they've had to deal with, whether going over to help in Ukraine or just living there and trying to get back. So after seeing those videos, coupled with the new information from the Peace Corps, you as a black person, how are you feeling about this Ukrainian-Russia situation? Did that change your thoughts on it at all, or what's going on? Or do you feel like there still needs to obviously be some kind of peace, but they're kind of getting what they deserve when it comes to their racism and their racist actions, things of that nature?
Oh, God. My thoughts on this, it doesn't change any way that I feel about what's happening over there. I still don't want to see innocent lives taken. I don't like war, right? I'm all about the right to bear arms and defend yourself, but I never want to see anyone
Right.
innocent die. What I'm going to say is shout out the Peace Corps, because they have so graciously given the discretion to people saying, hey,
I thought you were gonna be serious for a second.
I'm being sincere right now, Hale.
I really thought this was gonna be a change.
In this week's Ally of the Week, I want to shout out, is it the United States Peace Corps? It's the global, it's some kind of Peace Corps. The Peace Corps.
Yeah.
Because racism is only good when you were forewarned about it. So thank God I didn't have to go over there and, immerse myself around a bunch of Ukrainians who already saw me as a black person lesser of Ukrainian than them, as we've already seen from the way the media has covered it globally, from BBC to Fox to even CNN, right? To just quote a few reports of something like this really doesn't happen in a civilized country like the Ukraine.
Yeah.
We're more apt to see something like this in a developing nation, like a country in Africa or South America. Mm-hmm. We've seen how it's been reported on. So I'm not shocked one bit. Obviously,
I'm not.
the Ukrainians, even though they're the victims here, we are still seen as lesser. In Ukraine, in the people of Ukraine, shout out to Zelensky, and again, the innocent people that are fighting for their lives out here to gain their sovereignty, full support. Yeah. And even to the Russians who are not Russian white supremacists, right? I don't want to see the war. Be serious there. But what I will say is that Ukrainian people have shown their whole ass. Because as we've seen racism and white supremacy, especially when two white countries are warring, you are still a nigga at the end of the day. And so we have to applaud the Peace Corps, and naturally this is sarcastic, we have to applaud the Peace Corps for saying, hey, at least I'm not getting dropped and just called a nigger because I didn't expect it, but hey, at least you let me know it was coming.
I don't know why I read that, and what my feelings was, yeah, you might get called a nigger, and you might see some kids wearing blackface, but hey, come on out here and help us anyway. We still need you.
Our mission is peace around the world.
I think for me, I'm not shocked. I still obviously want peace. I know I've seen a lot of people on social media who feel differently. That is like, Ukraine can kick rocks. Yeah. You know what I mean? But obviously, I still want peace. Like you said, I don't want to see innocent people losing their lives. And
nobody wants to see Ukraine kick rocks, because I promise you, you let Russia into Ukraine, and well, it don't stop. It don't stop at Ukraine. I'll tell y'all that. But
exactly. So no, I don't want to see that happen. But it is sad that there is such a hypocrisy, like you just mentioned, when it comes on how it was reported and how we don't see this happen in the Ukraine, and we see this more in, like you said, South America or Africa and things like that. Well, no, you're just like any other country who sees black people as lesser, right? Like you literally have footage, and now you have written words now from the Peace Corps.
You have rules, my nigga. No. You have rules. Hey, number one, when you're a black person in the Peace Corps, rule number one, John Witherspoon, don't forget your nigga coat. Number two, you might get called a nigger when you're out on the front lines, but hey, go ahead and do the mission, baby. Thank you so much for your service. What?
Literally. Yeah, it's just ridiculous to me. And I can't lie, as a black person, I would be less willing to go over to Ukraine knowing all that's going on when it comes to black people. I mean, obviously I want peace, but you can send my white brother or sister out there in my place. And hopefully they can give you some assistance as I could, and we can help get this thing resolved. But I don't need to go over there and deal with my own personal war while I'm trying to be over there trying to bring peace to a war that's already taken place.
I just don't even know, dude. Like, it is, again, I'm not shocked by it. It doesn't surprise me. And do you, let me wait before we move on. Is it problematic to give that discretion?
I don't think it's problematic.
Beware, you might get called a nigger while working here. Is your workspace giving you that disclaimer? Is that more problematic than you just being there and being called the N-word?
I don't think it's problematic, but I would like to know who pushed for them to put this out. Because if it was some black people at the Peace Corps that said, hey, I need to let my brothers and sisters know this information before they dive into this unknowingly, then I get that. That's what I'm hoping it was. I don't think it's problematic because it gives us who are unaware of those videos or what's happening in Ukraine when it comes to their dealings with black people. It gives us a kind of an idea of what you're going into. So I think in this situation is actually a little more helpful than problematic.
I would just
as ironic as that.
As ironic, and I think I might just disagree because I'm like, I like my racism, the good old fashioned way, spontaneous. Guys, we got to move on. Tragedy up in Sacramento for those that don't know. Over the weekend, authorities are searching for multiple shooters Sunday after a shooting rampage in Sacramento left at least 6 people dead and fueled a chaotic scene in a downtown area packed with bar crowds. Police Chief Kathy Lester said officers arriving at the scene around 2 a.m. Sunday found bodies on the street amid a large crowd gathered in an area. Police initially reported multiple victims after the attack, not far from the state capitol, as they waded through the carnage, counting casualties. At least 18 people were shot and 12 people were treated at nearby hospitals. 6 adults, 3 men, 3 women died from gunshot injuries. Naturally, I know I speak for the whole podcast when I say that we've sent our condolences to the people involved, the families, to the victims, and everyone in between, people that just had to see it. I think we're in this hyper gun culture now that we're a little numb to these happenings. And we oftentimes forget the trauma that is just seen when you're just there. Like I've met people at festivals that were like, yeah, I was at Vegas at the Jason Aldean concert when people shot. And I said, you're still at a festival? And they said it took them years to get back. So sending the love and the light out to everyone involved because it's traumatic. My question to you
100%
is, are we just numb to it now? I remember seeing the reports.
I think
and seeing automatic weapons firing off in Sacramento, and I was at a wedding, and I said, "Yep." Put my phone down.
Sadly,
I remember crying, Sandy Hook, because I was on the radio. I was on college radio. I was at the Blaze. I was at the old Blaze station, not even the Cronkite one.
Yeah, that one was.
And I remember seeing the updates hit my phone. Music was playing, and then I had to come back for a break. Yeah. Blaze radio. At the time, I'm Malcolm on the radio, and tears were just coming down my face because I said, wow, that many kids. And it was just gruesome, all the headlines.
Yeah.
And every single mass shooting since that, my attachment to it has just dwindled.
I will say after Sandy Hook, because that one definitely got me as well. After that one, the Virginia Tech one got me as well too.
Damn.
I can't remember if that was before or after Sandy Hook, sadly. But that one hit me as well because that was just like, that could be me. I was in college myself, you know what I mean? That could have been us in school, you know what I mean? To answer your question though, yes, we're definitely numb to this, sadly.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a world where you can have a gun just on your hip as you walk around Walmart. You know what I mean? Like it's literally
where you live. You live
in the world where
you live in the Wild West. So yeah,
literally. So maybe I speak for myself when I say I live in a world
where you can have a gun on your hip at a Walmart.
Around Subway,
not the Subway. He said I got a $5 footlong in one pocket and I got an AR-15 in the other.
Where you can get a baseball cap and get capped
in the same place.
That's where
I can
live.
get eggs and bullets in the same place. Hey, can you get meal prep?
No,
and wait, while you're there, I need some more rounds. I'm going shooting in the desert later.
Oh man, I try to make light of this because it's definitely a sad story. But it's just sad that we are just so, like you said, so numb to it. It's like we don't care. Like we see these situations happen so much, but there's no change in gun law. There's no change in how we allow people to purchase guns, how we give guns to people who may have dealt with mental health issues or things of that nature. Like there's no change in that. So it's like, yes, we're numb to that, but it's like more than that. It's like I don't feel like we care.
No, we don't.
You know what I mean? I think by not changing these laws and doing this stuff is showing these victims past and future, sadly, past, present, and future, that we don't really care. If we cared, we would change this.
Sure.
If we cared, then we would not want to see more innocent bodies at festivals or at bars and all this stuff, at churches, getting shot up gruesomely like this for no reason. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
So I don't feel like we care. My question to you, though, was that I know we've both talked on the pod about recently actually going to the gun range. And I know for me, it was my first time shooting a gun and seeing the reality that comes with
There's
that.
some power.
But
Like, there's something to it. If you haven't done it, you just go, whew, yeah.
Like, I remember being like so nervous, and my dad was like, "Okay, don't pick it up till you're ready, because this is not a
Come on, Pop.
serious.
Come on, Pop.
Literally." So like, I was just so like, but after seeing stuff like this, it's like, man, do I really want a gun, or does it make you feel like, do I need a gun more, seeing how many guns that we see just pulled out on people randomly? You get what I'm saying?
That's the question. You're saying, do I want guns less, or should, like, is this more of a reason like we should all have guns?
Yeah.
My answer will be in the middle of it. I am one where I still am not ready to own my own. I know that. Grew up somewhat around them. Grew up doing a little bit of shooting. People in my family are huge carriers. I got friends of mine that they keep that thing on them. We make jokes, but like they just but they about that life, whether gang affiliated or just protection. Just say, hey, I got it. I'm a shooter. Whatever it is. I do not want to see or live in a community where automatic weapons are the norm and allowed. I will say that. I will also say that I want to have a clear understanding of how to use the weapon,
100%.
how to disarm it, how to load it, and how to shoot it if necessary, which I do for a certain degree of firearms, right? Because you do not know when you are going to need to protect yourself and in what way.
Yeah.
It would be some real shit if you just happen to be in one of these hypotheticals, but you're in a situation. And it's one thing when it's like, shooter, we don't know where they're at, so you just got to run and get out of there. I ain't trying to be nobody's hero. If my people with me, we getting down and we getting out. Ain't nobody sitting here, grab that gun, I'm going to find the bullets and I'm going to fire back. That's not me. That ain't me. We going to get out of there.
Yeah.
But what happens when that danger comes a little bit closer to home? What happens when that danger is close to you or close to the people that you love? Whether or not I have a gun, I still want to make sure that I have the understanding and I have the acumen to know what to do when the time comes. And so that maybe a longer answer, but that's my answer. I don't know. I do not think that we care because mental health resources are still scarce. So things are happening nationwide, internationally. We're seeing trauma on our screens day in and day out. And not only is there no gun legislation being passed or any recourse, at least nationwide, right? Still up to the states to do whatever the hell you want as far as guns. And again, that's going to be one of the biggest things. I don't think that America's ever going to change until we get that together. But America was founded on the right to bear arms. Unlike any other, I mean, more than any other nation in the world, on the aspect of freedom. Of course, there's plenty of other nations with guns everywhere, but the premise of our nation was, hey, baby, guns, God, and booze.
Yeah.
I got the right to worship my God, and I got the right to hold this here piece.
Yep.
So I think you would have a better job of making white people stop saying nigga than you would be able to get guns.
Taking people's guns. Yeah. No, you might be right.
I'll say that.
Last thing I want to say before we take a break is that, because you said about training, and I've also thought about that when I went to the gun range, is like, I need to go through a full course or a class on this before I own a gun. I think something that we should do when it comes to changing these laws and things like that is just like we did with these COVID vaccine cards and all of that stuff. We need to have mandatory cards or mandatory training and lessons for people owning guns. I think that would help a whole lot more. Like, if we had those before somebody would purchase a gun or whatever, they had to go through some kind of mandatory training, then that may improve and how people are using these guns and things of that nature. But that's just one of many, many gun laws that needs to be changed. So, like you said,
there's a lot.
It may never happen.
There's a lot. Hearing it.
Wishful thinking.
Unfortunately, it's incredibly wishful thinking. you know, out here in California, like there's only a certain caliber at which automatic weapon you can make, and you can't buy it. You have to make it out here in California. Mm-hmm. I remember living in Arizona, baby. I remember. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, so it's different.
Literally.
You know, it's different. We have to ask ourselves, where is the crime happening and what's going on? So again, I agree with you. But again, I do want to reiterate, the reason that I want to talk about this, and the reason I brought this story up, and I saw it on Twitter, and we'll move on, is because if we can talk about it, it doesn't become as normal.
Yeah.
It would have been really easy to see that headline hit and say, well, we won't talk about it on the podcast. Mm-hmm. Because crazy enough, I haven't seen much about it. Happened in my own state, happened in the capital of my own state. And quite frankly, it's just another headline that gets lost. Yeah. So I know it's a depressing topic. We are going to switch up the flow for the rest of it. And of course, we came in the podcast with nothing but love, nothing but energy. But I encourage y'all listening, watching, receiving, supporting this, to question the normalcy of guns and mass shootings in your space. And I'm not saying to create a headline or talk about it, but engage with the reality of it in your own way, in your own safe way that preserves your own mental health. Because I think the only way that for our society to change is to not make this shit normal.
Yeah.
100%. This shit is not normal. Okay? 100%. Quick break.
Yeah, we're going.
We'll come back. Love is in the air, y'all.
Is it though? You'll be the judge as you watch our new 3-episode dating special premiering in February.
I've been shooting my shot in the DMs lately. Losing battle.
We are getting into the good and probably the bad of dating. It's going down exclusively on the Unfiltered Gems podcast YouTube channel.
So learn your lady's way of communicating.
Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Unfiltered Gems, the podcast. What's good, family? At Unfiltered Gems podcast, every single place that you can be. I know I've been throwing y'all under the bus, the people that be listening in your cars and listen. You're just merely listening. I appreciate you for real. Also,
100%.
Do better.
100%.
Watch us. No. Look, even if you listen, I appreciate you listening. You know, here's how I'm going to compromise with the people that listen. Listen, because thank you. I need it. Tell your friends to listen. And then what you can do is, like, when you're home or you're at your office or whatever it is, just throw the YouTube video on. Even if you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't watch it on YouTube, it's not your preferred, just throw it on. You know what I'm saying? Show the love across.
Yeah, just throw it on. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. And then
just do that. Do it on your Trap Google account. That way,
help us
out. Help us help you. You know what I'm saying? Like we just trying to. No, thank you so much. My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm right.
Quick breaking news, man. As we're recording, TMZ just reported that the man that I want to keep his did I just say I want to keep his name out my fucking mouth? Kanye West, 2 weeks ahead of the Coachella Music Festival happening out here, Coachella, California. Y'all know what it is. I ain't got to explain Coachella. He was the Sunday headliner, festival headliner. Everyone's real excited to see. Yay, headline Coachella. He just dropped out, y'all. Rumored that Travis Scott was going to show up with him.
The way you said it though was just so. You just really dropped the ball on us.
Yeah,
he just dropped that on us quickly. Yeah.
He dropped out, y'all.
He just dropped.
He dropped out. He dropped like, man ain't performing.
He ain't gonna be there.
He ain't gonna be there. Well, because some people are looking forward to it. I'm just like, let me bait your expectations. The people that
now, let me say this, Malcolm. I would be livid if I bought my Coachella tickets already, and you telling me Kanye West not coming, and that's what I was looking forward to.
Well, if you wanted to be Coachella, was that who you were looking forward to?
Well, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know the whole Coachella lineup, so I can't.
Let me tell you, there would be a lot more people for what you like. Don't worry, Ye wouldn't be.
I believe that. But I'm just saying, if I'm not speaking as myself. I'm just speaking as someone. I'm speaking as someone who may or may not be a big, or maybe a big Kanye fan. Yeah. Like I would be upset 2 weeks before the festival you just dropped.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Here's the thing.
I don't want to talk much.
I do not know if it's gonna stick. We know Kanye loves a publicity stunt. I don't know if it's gonna stick. What I do know is that the headline says Kanye West drops out of Coachella. No Travis Scott either, because it was definitely rumored. Not even rumored. You know, Kanye loves. He over here touring with Marilyn Manson and DaBaby. Like you know, this man is all about like I'm gonna push the grain here. Yeah, it was rumored that he was gonna bring Travis out. You know, at a music festival. Have you no shame? But Yeah, he apparently he's not going to do it. Yeah, that's what he says. He loves publicity. I don't know if it's going to stick. They might just want to pay him some more. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I don't care because I didn't have a ticket to Coachella.
I was about to say, at this point, who cares?
So to the people that really wanted to see Kanye, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It's just weird, dude. Screw him. I don't care.
He's just
I just don't care at this point. I don't care. You know who I want to see replace Kanye? You know the rapper, the rap group, right? That won the first HipHop Grammy. There was no HipHop Grammy category until this act in 1989 or 1990. You know who that act is?
Oh man, I think I know this.
Say it then.
But I know you're joking with me right now. If this is the right person.
Say it.
Is this Fresh Prince and Jazzy
Damn
Jeff?
right, man. Let them headline Sunday.
You're a fool. You're a fool. You're a
what?
true fool.
What? That's mean. That's real mean, hell. You ain't trying to hear some
You're a
boom, boom, shake the room. Bah! And then Will just goes, you know what I'm saying? He just goes, nigga, you know how many people would love to get slapped by Will at Coachella? They're like, come on, Fresh Prince. And he just going up, welcome to Miami. Welcome to Miami. Getting jiggy with it, nigga. And just popping them. Come on. Just popping them, man. Just pop. Oh, my God. I would love to see it. And Jazzy Jeff just be in the back. Just on the turntables. And Will just going up to him.
Oh
welcome to Coachella. Welcome to just popping them. That's what I want to see. Look, you replace Kanye, put Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff on there. Look, you got a solid lineup. And they're worried about diversity right now. Because quite frankly, I was there at Coachella to see Harry Styles. We'll talk about that another day. I'm totally a stan. Shit you not, dude. Harry Styles is one of my favorite fucking pop stars. I love Harry Styles, dude. Man, it's crazy.
Wow.
His music's great. I got both of his albums. Here's what I'll say.
Oh, my God.
Replace Kanye with the Fresh Prince. You want to talk about someone who's not canceled? Put him up there.
This is not the takes of the Unfiltered Gems podcast. This is a Malcolm Alexander.
This is exclusively the whole take. Unanimously, Ryan Hale, our producer Sarah, and all the listeners listening. You guys are all in our
nope.
You are in our cult, in our Freshmans and Jazzy Jeff cult, where we worship. We worship Will Smith and his rap records. No, man, I don't give a fuck what they do with Coachella, quite frankly. What I do want to say before we get out of here. You sent a really, really, really good poll. And since we are here for hot takes, or not a poll, a question, whatever it is. We here for the takes. Y'all know what it is. Y'all want to hear some controversial shit? Well, here it is, okay? Talking about which debut album would you rate 10 out of 10? And when we say 10 out of 10, that means no skips. There's a lot of albums that be coming on. You know what I'm saying? And it's real easy.
Yeah.
Hell, you can pick one. I might give you two, but you can pick one.
Man, that is so hard.
All right, I got you.
Go ahead.
SZA Control.
Oh, I was literally about to say that.
Can't take it. Nope. And it has to be a debut album, right? Because I already know.
Yeah, no,
I know where your head was at. Because I was like, ooh, Take Care. Nope.
I wasn't gonna Take Care because I know it's not a debut.
It's not a debut.
Oh, that's tough. SZA Control was definitely the one.
I'll raise you one more. It was a mixtape, but even the album, Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. Don't skip. This is without me even looking at my library right now.
Good Kid, Mad City was an album.
I was going to say Section 80, but I said that was the mixtape. So Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh, that was.
But that's so Good Kid. If you were starting his debut at that, no skips. I'm gonna keep just shouting about it until you give me one. I'm like, you know what? Got another one. Another one. K Tronada, 99.9%.
Man, this is so hard.
I will also say, Erykah Badu. Baduism was her debut. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. We're going old school. I got one. Lauryn Hill, Miseducation.
Yes.
Of
Cool.
Lauryn Hill.
Easy.
No,
not
yeah,
not a single one.
Too. If we have to say Drake, Thank Me Later, I don't personally skip it. I know people,
but there's some skips on that album. I enjoy it, but there's some skips on the album. There's. I would say
I'm gonna go
you said Lauryn Hill makes me think of D'Angelo Brown Sugar.
Also,
not a skip on that album. I'm sorry. Maxwell Urban Hangout Suite, if that was his first one.
Oh yeah,
Not a skip on that one. Shout out to the aunties.
I don't know if that was the first one or not, but that album was fire. Yeah, I mean, you said it. Scissor Control was the
Scissor
first
Control. When you
stuck out
said
to
that
me.
and I said a debut album with 0 skips, Scissor Control.
Oh, her album was magical. That's why I think she hasn't released another.
And she doesn't
album yet.
have to.
There's no way you can compete with that.
And
Yeah,
SZA don't want to do this shit.
Yeah.
SZA here, she go help with her features. SZA got one more album in her, and I probably girl done.
You think she
She
done?
I'd be too. Doja. What I will say, man, I didn't shout out Doja enough because Doja did win last night. She didn't win Best Album. John Baptiste did, and he was just as shocked. John Baptiste was all of us when they set him for Album of the Year. He went. He was the person that said, huh? Me? John Baptiste, yes, the band leader for the Colbert Show. And the We Are album was really good, but I just was not expecting it to win Album of the Year compared to all the other pop records. But Doja and SZA won for Kiss Me More for Best Pop Collaboration.
Right.
I love it because it was so endearing how SZA walked there with crutches, but she wasn't using the crutches. She said she fell out of her bed on the way to the Grammys. And she was up on stage for like a whole 10, 20 seconds before Doja is running up there. There's a video, Doja was running from the bathroom. And so the first thing she goes, that was the fastest piss I've ever taken in my life.
Yeah.
She adjusted her skirt. I said, oh, just love her. And Doja got really emotional. She goes, I'm a pacifist. She goes, I can really, I deflate a lot of these things. But she goes, this one really mattered. And she bawled.
Yeah, she's crying.
And because she recently too was talking about how she's like, dude, I'm done. This music industry is not for the faint of heart. And I think more now than ever in this TikTok generation, artists are vulnerable and they're seeing it on social media. And I think maybe young kids who were thinking, I want to be an artist are now seeing it and saying like, nigga, I'd rather just go get a job. Because for what you got to do, no, I'm okay. SZA don't want to do this.
100%.
I'll tell you right now. SZA tired. She tired, boss.
Yeah.
So I think, and there's a pressure, dude. There has not been such an introspective album. And I think why Control is always the first one top of mind, because it's not often that you get albums from women that men as a whole can relate to and digest fully. Without the premise of some, oh, no homo, nigga, that's some girl shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you had a debut like that from a woman artist since Miseducation, where the masses can say, yeah, this is a young lady's story, but men can find themselves in 20-something.
Yeah.
Still alone, still not a thing in my name. Like, it doesn't really matter. Man or woman, gay, straight, anything in between, it doesn't really matter. Like, Control captured the youth experience in your 20s and in this decade, in this generation, in this time, perfectly. And I don't think I've ever heard a debut like that since Miseducation.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to raise you one.
Well said.
I want to raise you one. Shout out to a new friend. Met him on Friday night. Name is Scott Horning. Shout out to my dog.
Okay.
He asked me, he told me we're talking about one album in particular, and I know you're not going to think of it, but we're talking about one album, and he goes, "That's the best hip hop compilation album of all time." And I said, "Damn, right? Hip hop compilation, so not one artist, but like artist, whole label, whole team coming together." So this is kind of deal with the debut, and then we'll get the hell up out of here. Hale, your favorite, or what do you think is one of the best hip hop compilation albums of all time? Think of an album, but like the Avengers for hip hop and rap.
Oh, I have no idea. Oh, man.
It's hard. It's a hard one.
Yeah, I don't know.
He said that the best one, and I'll tell you this, what I presented to like counter it. And then I said, and then I went in my car and I put it on and I said, shit, because it was such an error in my life. I don't know if you ever got through. God, I hate to say his. I'm not gonna say his name.
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna say now. DJ Khaled?
No.
Oh, okay. Whoops.
Nope. That's
Way
a big
off.
whoops. The man that we just talked about, the one that dropped out of Coachella,
Kanye.
presented "Cruel Summer."
Oh, I forgot about that.
Do you remember the "Cruel Summer" album?
Yeah, that was good.
Front
I forgot about that
to
though.
back. There might be only one or two skips, maybe. But that album is not only single heavy, but literally had the best rappers featured. The Locks featured. You know what I'm saying? Raekwon of the Wu-Tang, Ghostface,
Yeah.
Jay in it. And I said, what about the Rockefeller tapes? You know, Beanie and Foxy and Jay. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting. And he looked at me. He's like, the Rockefeller tapes. I'm like, hey, but I'm like, Rock Life Familia was an era. But he said, but Cruel Summer, best hip hop compilation album of all time. And I wanted to disagree with my man's.
Hilarious.
And then I put on New God.
It's tough.
Look, I went my car, put on New God Flow. I said, yep, he might be right. That is all hell. You got anything else today?
I don't.
Look, y'all know what it is, okay? I need y'all to do the thing, okay? Follow us everywhere. Do this. All y'all got homework, whether you're watching, whether you're listening. Tell a friend to tap in. And then also, let us know, man, how we can improve the podcast. We want to give y'all what you want, man. We love doing this. And as I said at the top of the show, man, I'm just filled with overwhelming gratitude and love for the support. So thank y'all so much. Follow us everywhere at Unfiltered Gems Podcast. You're watching. Subscribe, bell for notifications, all the intricacies and the nuances and all that. Do it, and we appreciate you, okay? We'll have more episodes coming to you next week. From Unfiltered Gems, my name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm Ryan Hale. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.